Chrysalis cleared her throat and threw her head back, standing proud and tall. She opened her mouth, then paused as the scritch of a quill on parchment broke the silence of her spotlight. "Twilight?" she asked, huffing as she flicked an ear. "Twilight, my victory's close at hoof. Are you listening?" "Mm-hmm," came the response as Twilight's quill trailed down columns and numbers. Chrysalis grinned and licked her lips. "Excellent," she cried, stiffening again on her hooves as she stood before Twilight's desk, regal and imposing. She took a deep breath behind a feigned smile and said, "3 changelings walk into bar. Nobody knew." Twilight shifted 2 pages side by side and glanced between them, brow furrowed. The changeling queen wrinkled her muzzle and nearly shouted, "I said 3 changelings walk into a bar. Nobody knew." She waited for a few long seconds, smile dropping rapidly. Rolling her eyes, she added, "Because they were changelings. Get it?" Twilight sat, staring at her papers in silence. "You see, they were disguised, and... Do you hear me? Twilight Sparkle?" "Mm-hmm." "Then why aren't you laughing?" "I'm laughing on the inside," Twilight mumbled without looking up. "And no, that doesn't count," she added. "Also, I think we'll have to avoid resettlement in the Albany region. Their existing municipal infrastructure can't support an influx of changeling residents." Chrysalis shook her head and sighed. "I don't understand," she mumbled. "That joke killed them in Seattle." She let out a long breath and paused. "No, really, it did kill them. Well, only 5 of them, but still." Chrysalis was rolling on the floor, cackling, her eyes squeezed tight and tears flowing. Hold on, there's a punchline, I swear. She gasped for breath, clutching her sides as she choked out. "And he said, and..." She pounded the floor with the hoof, rasping laughs with every breath. "And he said..." She bit her lip and snorted. "That's not my uncle, that's my Aunt Tenny." She shivered all over, grinned, whining, and finally burst out in guffaws that echoed through the crystal-lined chamber. Minutes of spasmodic belly laughing later, she realized she was laughing alone, her guffaws dying into awkward, lonely chortles. She pointed a hoof at her head and offered, "Because, antenna?" Twilight shook her head slowly as she reached for a fresh ink bottle. Chrysalis looked up and asked, "Need help popping your cork?" Twilight snarled and opened the inkwell with a flicker of magic. Chrysalis slumped to her side and pouted. "I guess that's a no on the euphemisms too." Chrysalis draped herself across the little alcove, snaking wings and limbs around her. Her breath was cool as she whispered into a flickering purple ear. Then the drone said to the queen, "Is that your ovipository, or are you just happy to see me?" She waited, fangs poised by the tempting tender ear tip, for the inevitable snickers and smiles and shivers. She thought she saw Twilight pause to draw a heart and smiley face on the borders of her spreadsheet. But when it turned out to be a pie chart, she sighed and snatched the quill with her flourish of emerald magic. Twilight Sparkle, this would have been much easier had your parents given you the talk before today. You see, she said, as she began sketching certain descendantly unofficial figures on the word package paper. When a drone and a queen love each other very much, the drone does a special dance. Wiggling her hindquarters uncomfortably close to Twilight's own, she smirked and continued. And soon after, she puts her ovipositor, I'll show you that one later, my little twiddle bug, into... Chrysalis recoiled a bit. Then, with a scowl and another twinkle of her horn, removed the spreadsheet featuring anatomically correct pie chart from her right nostril. That's not where the ovipositor goes, Sparky. Though, I admit, I'm glad to see you have a kinky side. And that was Bug Me by The Last Burning G. Well, hopefully I said that correctly. From the looks of it, Chrysalis won't be making Twilight laugh anytime soon. But we'll see about that in part 3. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to hear more and you liked what you saw, make sure to click the like button and subscribe with that notification bell. This is Nismo Rose Production. Till next time, and signing off. Chrysalis cleared her throat and threw her head back, standing proud and tall. She opened her mouth, then paused as the scritch of quill. Chrysalis cleared her throat and threw her. Their existing municipal infrastructure can't support their existing municipal infrastructure. She shivered all over, grin, whining, and finally burst out into guffaws that echoed through the crystal-lined chamber. Minutes of spasmodic minutes of